Okay, cool. So now that we understand how to work with directories and files, now I want to show you guys how to work with the content within a file. And there are a couple commands that I wanted to show you guys that will help you do this. Now, the first command I wanted to show you guys is the head command. And as always, with every command, I will show you the man page first. So head, press enter. As you can see, it outputs the first port of a file. Now, the purpose of this command, it will print out the first 10 lines of a file, and it'll do it right within the terminal. And this is so you can get an idea of what's actually in the file. So let's quit the man page right fast by pressing Q, and let's find a file to actually use the head command on. So let's ls the documents directory, and I may need to go into another directory. Yeah, let's go into the Ansible directory again, press enter, and ls again so we can list out the contents. And let's go on and run the head command against the readme.md file. So let's just go down and type head and then readme.md and press enter. As you can see, it pulls the first 10 lines. Now it's a little hard to count, but the spaces are actually a line as well. So that's why it shows content on blank lines as well as lines with content on it. But it's the first 10 lines of the actual file. Now there is an option where you can show a certain amount of lines. Let's say you only want to see the first 5 lines of this same file. So let's press up. Let's actually run that command again and run -5 and press enter, and that will show you the first 5 lines of that line instead of the default of 10. So that's a cool way of actually using the head command. And now that we know how to use that command, I wanted to show you another command that's very similar to this one. And the difference between this command, the head command, and the command I'm about to show you is that it shows you the last 10 lines of a file. So it's beneficial to use both of these commands if you're trying to figure out what's in a file without opening up the full file. And the command I'm talking about is the tail command. So we could type man tail and press enter. And as you can see, it says outputs the last port of a file, and the exact same thing as the head command, but it's the total opposite while showing you the last 10 lines of the file. So let's go down and quit that, and let's run the tail command against that same file and press enter. And as you can see, it pulls the last 10 lines of that actual file. And just so you guys know, this file doesn't have much data in it. I believe it has about 10 lines in it. That's why it's showing the exact same information as the head command. So let me find another command to give you a better example. So we can go into the lamp directory and press enter. And let's ls this directory, and let's find a better file to actually look at. And let's look at the site.yaml file, and let's run the head first. So head against the site file and press enter. As you can see, it pulls in the first 10 lines. Now let's run the tail command the exact same way and press enter, and you'll see that the information is different, and that's the last 10 lines of that file. And I wish I would have found this file first because it's a better example. As you can see, the information is totally different from when we ran it the first time on the original file, which only had a little bit of content in it. Now, let's go down and clear right fast. And I wanted to show you another command, which is the cat command. And since we're deep in a directory, let's go down and make the terminal full screen. That way you guys can actually see everything. And let's clear the screen again and run man cat, which is the command I'm about to show you now. And cat is short for concatenate files. And basically what this command is used for is to print out all the content of a file. Not just the first 10 lines, not just the last 10 lines, but the full file itself. So let's quit that And let me show you guys how to actually run that now. So we could just run cat and then the site .yaml file, press enter, and as you can see, it pulls in that whole file. And we can scroll up and see it, but as you can see, that's the full file right there. So that's just a quick way of printing out everything. Now the cat command, as I stated, stands for concatenate. So you can take information or content from multiple files and concatenate that information into one big file using the cat command. That's one of the more advanced features of the cat command. So let me show you guys how to actually do this by creating a couple files, and then I'll concatenate the information within each one of those files into one big file. Now let's cd and then clear the screen right fast so I can bring everything up to the top so you guys can see. Now let's change directories to our documents directory. Press enter, and let's ls this directory because I'm gonna have to create a couple files right fast. And I haven't shown you guys the echo command, but this is the simplest way of actually creating a file along with the content in it. So let's first look at the man page for echo. I just wanted to show you guys this right fast, but echo, press enter, and it'll display a line of text. It's a simple command that's been around for a very long time that allows you to display information. And really, all we have to do is type echo, and then we could type some text. So, and then I want to write the and put it into an actual file within this directory. And all we have to do is type text1 or whatever you want to name it, .txt, and press enter, and that'll echo the into that file name as well as create that file for us. And if we ls this directory right fast, just so you guys can see, you'll see that text1 is there. And if we cat out that file, and I just wanted to show you guys this, if we cat out that file and press enter, you'll see that the word the is in there. Now let's run the same exact command, echo, and let's put something different in there. So, and just so you guys know, what I'm doing is pressing the up arrow. That'll show you commands that you've already ran. But let's see and let's write big to this actual file, and let's press enter, and that's text2. And let's run it one more time, and let's create a file called text3. And let's put a word in here as well, the big apple. So it'll write apple to that file. Now let's cat out each one of those files right fast so you guys can see exactly what's in each one of those files. And we'll start with test1, press enter, and then test2, and then test3 or text3. Press enter, and so as you can see, it says the big apple. Now watch this. If we run the cat command against all three of those commands, we'll see all the text printed out from each one of those text files. So let's type cat, and then we could type text1, and then text2, and then text3, and press enter. As you can see, it puts it all together. So that's what concatenates means. It'll put the content of multiple files into one printout, and you can also extract it all to another file, which is a little bit more advanced, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible to do this by simply, we can run the same exact command, but instead of it outputting to the terminal, I wanted to output that information to a file. So let's create another file, and all we have to do is type the greater than sign, and we can name the file all.txt and press enter. And if we ls this directory, we'll see that we have another file now called all. So if we cat out the all file right fast, we'll see that that text is there. So it basically took the text from text 1, text 2, text 3 and put it all into one file, which is super cool. And just think of the possibilities by doing something like this. If you have a file with 100 lines in it, or a couple files with 100 lines in each one of them, and you want them to be combined, you can use simply the cat command in order to do this. Now, let's say you want to create a file and you want to type the content within that file. Well, I'm going to show you guys the simplest way by using the cat command. This is another feature of the cat command. And let me clear the screen so we can get it back up to the top. But let's start off by creating the file using the cat command. And what we need to do is put the greater than sign, and then we can name the file whatever we want it. So let's name this file 1.txt and press enter. And then as you can see, the cursor is stuck to the left hand side. That's because we're using the cat command to create the file and then write the content into the file. So all we have to do is type in whatever we wanted to say. So I could type, I am having a good day, period. And then you can actually add more than one line. You don't have to keep typing. You just press enter and that will take you to the next line, and then you can continue typing. I hope you are too. Now let's say you're finished done writing everything you want within this file. In order to save it, all you have to do is hold the control button and press D, and it'll drop you back down to the command line. Now I know that's kind of weird where to put it, but let's press enter just to get it out the way. And now let's actually cat that file right fast so we can see exactly what's in it, and press enter, and that'll cat out that information for us. And I should have put a return at the end of it. That's why it's putting the terminal prompt right after the end of the file, which makes it kind of look weird, but that's essentially how it works. But if you follow that process, you can create the file, write in the content that you want to write into the file, and then save the file in that location. Now let's press enter again because I want to ls this directory, because I don't think I showed you that the file was actually there. But as you can see, file 1, that's that actual file. Now there's another cool feature of cat that I wanted to show you guys. You can actually copy files, or you can use it as a copy for a particular file. And if we cat out file 1 again, that way we can look at the text again so you guys can actually see what's in it. We can actually copy that file and rename it something else by using the cat command like this. So we could just type cat file 1, and then all you have to do is put the greater than sign and then name the file whatever you want to. So I'll just name it file 2.txt and press enter. And if we ls this directory again, you'll see that there is a file 2. And if we run the cat command against file 2, that will show us the contents of that file, which is exactly the same as file 2. All right, cool. So now we understand that. Let's clear the screen because I wanted to show you another command that helps when working with files. Now, this is typically used when you have a very large file that you're trying to go through and look at. And this command is called more. So we could type man and then more, and this will give you information about it, but basically it just parses out data to your terminal, but it allows you to tab through different pages. And I'll show you guys how to actually use it once we get into it. And I found a quick file, let's see, under the Ansible directory, and then the lamp directory, HP I believe, proxy, press enter, and let's ls this directory. I just want to try to find it, and the provision.yaml file. So let's run more against provision.yaml file, press enter, and as you can see at the bottom now, this is by running more. More shows you the percentage of the file that you're at, as well as you can tab through per page instead of going line by line. with the cat command, where it just kind of prints out everything. Let's say you want to look at everything page by page. If you hit the space bar, that'll go to the next page, and if you hit it again, that'll go to the end of the page. And that's a super beneficial command as well. Now, there is an alternative that some people like to use, which is less, and I'll show you guys that now using it against that same command. But first, let's go to the man page for less, just so you guys can see it. But it says the opposite of more. So let's type it in and just run it right fast. So let's go less, and then the provisioning file again. Just press enter. And as you can see, it's pretty much the same. You could tab as well, and you can go back up, you know what I'm saying, and back down. You can go line by line as well with this command, but if you hit space, that'll take you down to the end. And all you have to do is hit the Q command. That'll quit the actual command. But that's essentially a high overview of the less command and the more command. And this concludes all the commands I'll show you that'll allow you to manipulate the content within a file on the Linux operating system. So let's move on to the next segment.